Nation! Man, what a tragic day for the Las Vegas Raiders. Breaking news coming out of Las Vegas. Antonio Pierce has said Max Crosby will not play in Sunday's game. First, the Cleveland Browns. Also, Davante Adams not playing in the game. And more superstars out for Las Vegas Raiders. First, the Browns Sunday. We'll break that all down. What does it mean for our Las Vegas Raiders? Max Crosby missing his first game since he's been a Raider, 6 years. How big is this? We'll talk about it. We'll break it down. All coming up on Raiders Unleashed.
Blustering in from sea, with a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
You know what I like to do? Just follow me on this one.
Yo, man. So, Max Crosby, as you just heard, if you couldn't hear me in the intro, I don't know if my mic was messed up or what. There's nobody to see if my mic's working, so we'll just wing it, talk to myself. Max Crosby going to miss his first game ever since he's been a Raider, 6 years. How big of an injury is this? How bad of an injury is this for Max Crosby? We know Max Crosby will not miss games, like I just said. You know, it's been 6 years. He's never missed a game. How big of an injury is this? How long is he going to be out? How significant of an injury is a high sprain? You know, a high sprain is nothing to play with. Any sprain in his ankle is bad, especially when you're a defensive end, you know, and you have to get that bend. You're constantly working against guys twice your size, offensive linemen. So this is definitely huge news for our Las Vegas Raiders. On the other hand, you know, we have Tyree Wilson, the first round pick. A lot of people, you know, keep throwing out that bust card for Tyree Wilson. This is the time for Tyree Wilson to show what he's made of. I know he's not Max Crosby. We don't need him to be Max Crosby. We just need him to be Tyree Wilson. You know, do your 111, stay in your gaps. If you're blitzing, blitz. If you're not, you know, stay in your lane. I think the man is definitely going to help us on the run game. But, you know, he's going to hurt us on the pass rush. Nobody can replace Max Crosby, excuse me. You know, Mad Max cannot be replaced. He is fucking irreplaceable, flipping irreplaceable. On the other hand, you know, we got some young guys. We brought in Kay Levon. I thought he would have played last week against the Carolina Panthers, knowing their offense, knowing their system. I thought he would have helped us out a lot, you know, giving us some tips and some keys. But it didn't help us at all. We just got completely mauled by the Carolina Panthers. And we're sitting at 1-2. And 1-2 is not a real bad situation. But it's not a good situation when your stars, like Max Crosby, are out of the game. Not only is Max Crosby out of the game, but Davante Adams will miss the game due to a hamstring. You know, Davante don't miss games either. So is there something going on we don't know about? trade rumors have been flying with Davante Adams. I think this is really not a good situation for him not being out there, because if we go out there and these receivers show out and shine, the speculations are just going to run rampant. We don't need him, blah, blah, blah. If we lose, it's just another excuse for the fan base to say, oh, we didn't have Max Crosby, we didn't have Davante Adams. In my opinion, it's the NFL. That really doesn't matter. It's next man up mentality. And you get paid to be an NFL superstar. So, these guys have to step up. They have to show what they're made of. And, we still don't have an identity with this team. Antonio Pierce keeps preaching, physicality, violence, ill intent. But we haven't seen any of that yet. And we still don't have an identity. We don't have an identity on offense. We thought, we had an elite defense. We had an identity there. But we don't have an identity on defense either. Like, our defense is almost worst in the league on every single category. We're at the bottom of the league. So, no identity on defense, no identity on offense. And this is the team searching for a lot of, for an identity, for some flow on offense. I've been a critic of Gardner Minshew, saying there's plenty of plays to be made. He's just not seeing it. Obviously, this team and the coaching staff has faith in Gardner and, believe he can pull through and he can find the open men. But from what we've seen on tape, it's just not showing. Maybe it'll work out, but, not having Davante Adams, your number one receiver, is not going to help this offense at all. Or will it? The Cleveland Browns defensive backs have been struggling, to say the least, mightily, against pretty much every opponent they've played. You've seen the rookie, Neighbors just destroy their number one defensive back. I don't have his name right here. I don't know. I just kind of jumped on quick. But anyways, so, he got worked. We thought Davante Adams was going to work him, but we still have some young guys. DJ Turner with his speed. Could this open up, the run game and make defenses, skeptical and kind of scary? If Gardner could just come out and throw some deep balls and open it up right away, could it open up the run game? Trey Tucker's speed on the outside, DJ Turner's speed will definitely have more speed. And, you have Brock Bowers in the middle. Michael Mayer is definitely going to be a key asset. He is also out, if you haven't heard already. Michael Mayer is dealing with some personal issues. Coach AP didn't really express. He just said it was personal. He's not going to get to that. So hopefully, everything is well with Michael Mayer and it's nothing bad. And hopefully it's nothing related team-wise. He hasn't been really getting the ball too much. There's been many times he's open. And, guys have to be frustrated in this offense. I did a tape breakdown yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Where guys are open, and it's not constantly, but it's enough where plays can be made that can put us in position to score points or at least get us in field goal range a couple times. And those points are key to turning around, an offense or a defense and flipping the tables in a game. Momentum is key. So it's never a good thing when your star players are out, but it's never a bad thing when you got guys that you don't really know what they're made of and they're not really getting a lot of play time, for them to go out there and, be under the spotlight, because everybody's going to be watching Tyree Wilson. Damn well the man's been under a spotlight since he came to the Raiders, and everybody's going to be a critic. So, I think he really, really needs to step up. I've seen a couple film. He's taking leadership in practice. And one thing that kind of scares me is, if you think about it, Tyree Wilson is kind of going to be the veteran on this team on the defensive end. He's been with the team longer than any defensive end we have. So Tyree Wilson is kind of our veteran defensive end out there, and that kind of scares me a little bit. Let's see how he steps up with the pressure on, but I believe the man will step up to the challenge. Last week I seen flashes, in the run game where he's jumping over his own players and making tackles. I tried to put it on tape. Maybe I'll get the video out, but it's already Friday, and we're on to the next week. So last week really doesn't matter. most people probably won't watch. But if you get a chance, go back and just check out film, man. Tyree Wilson didn't play too bad last week, and now he's going to get a lot more reps. So will the more reps hurt him? We'll see how good of shape he's in. And I think this will really be a testament to, Patrick Graham's coaching. How well can you coach with your main player hurt in a backfield, that's in shambles? They're giving up 28th most points in the league right now. So, bro, this could be devastating for our defense, but it can also be good for a lot of players that kind of need to get some play time. I've been screaming and screaming. Amari Gainer. Amari Gainer can play defensive end. He can play Mike linebacker. He can play Will linebacker. He can play Sam. He can play it all. So, put him a couple times last week. They had Amari Gainer lined up on the defensive end. He didn't really do too well, but, it's just a couple times you got to get in a rhythm. So will we see Amari Gainer, kind of step in at defensive end and try to get some reps? I definitely want to see him out there, whether it's linebacker, whether it's defensive end. I definitely want to see the man on the field. Tommy Eichenberg hasn't gotten any grass time. He's been hurt most of the offseason. Maybe this is a good time to get him out there. Throw him out there at linebacker, see what he's got. I think Luke Masterson played very, very well last week. 6 tackles solo. Was decent at stopping the run. We're definitely going to need to stop the run. Their running backs are averaging 5 yards a carry, so they're not getting the ball as much because they're behind constantly like us, and, they got to throw the ball. But they're not doing very well at throwing the ball. And when they are running the ball, they have a running back that just killed us last year for the Chicago Bears. Davante Foreman ran all over us, and he's like their second or third string running back right now. They got Hubbard back there. So this is going to be a huge, huge, huge testament to our defense to see where we stand. And, AP talked about character. It's all about character this week. Well, it's a lot more about character, It's about pride. It's about a lot more than character, a lot more on the line than character. So I really think we need to, get a chance to see who steps up, who takes that next step into being a force on this defensive team. And I think Tyree Wilson, being out there, I don't know how much he's going to be out there. He's definitely going to be not going to be out there like Max Crosby, 99% of the snaps. But he's going to get a lot more play time than usual, and this will definitely be a time for the coaching staff, for the Raider Nation, and for Tyree Wilson, to see what we got in this kid. Is he worth the first round pick? Well, we're going to find out today. Sunday, we're definitely going to find out. Janarius Robinson's been doing pretty good. It's just a matter of time before he gets a sack out there. I think Snowden got a sack last week. I think he's been doing pretty well. So we have defensive ends. We have guys that can get pressure, but we don't have anybody that can replace Max. Isaiah Palomau will be taking over for Marcus Epps. I think that's very, very huge for this defense. He just seems like he has a little bit more of that dog in him, a little bit more fire. We'll see how well it turns out. But we've heard him say he wants to make a legacy for himself in this organization. And now's the time for him to do it. What other better time than with your safety out, probably for the season. I think he's out for the season. So it's a big time. Sam Webb, we've seen flashes from Sam Webb in the preseason. Will he step up in game time when it counts and make some plays for us? The dude's 6'4". He has good speed, great size. Is the playbook paying off? Raider Ryan, what's good? Salute, my brother. I'm sure you already heard the news. Max Crosby out Sunday. Davante Adams out Sunday. Michael Mayer out Sunday. Munford out Sunday. Basically, half the team is out on Sunday. Some shit on. Right? Heard the bad news. Yes, yes. That's kind of what we're talking about. Like, it's time for this team to step up and, man up. It's a home game. We got destroyed last week on a home game, and we can't have another loss. Starting out 1-3, the season's pretty much a wraps. You already have people in the comments, not in this chat because nobody's in here or comes in here, but in the lives that I've been in the last couple of days, people are saying tank already, which that's not even a word that comes out of my mouth. Tank. For anybody to say tank, you're not a Raiders fan, bro. You're just a hater. Like, nobody in the NFL tanks. I'm glad they're protecting Max. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I made some post on Twitter. If y'all don't follow me on Twitter, it's Raiders Rebel _. Go check me out on Twitter. I made some posts saying, somebody commented on Will Max play, and I was saying, a high ankle sprain, if it's that serious, I'd rather have him out one game than have him, injure it more or re-injure it and make it worse and miss him for a couple games. But for him to be out, like I talked about it in the beginning, this is the first time Max Crosby has ever missed a game since he's been a Raider, 6 years. So it has to be pretty serious for him not to go, which is very, very bad for us. That's crazy talk. Those are professional football players. Yeah, I know. And they're going to be out there anytime they can. Like, sometimes, you have to keep a player from himself, especially Max Crosby, in my opinion, because that man's going to be out there no matter what. And as far as tanking goes, that's not an option, bro. Like I keep saying over and over again, I don't know who the clowns are that keep saying tanking, bro, but if you think that these guys, with all their testosterone, pride, and all that character, are gonna tank, you lost your mind, bro. You lost your mind. It's not even feasible to even bring that shit up, whether it's for a quarterback or what. But let's talk about some positives, like we were talking about. DJ Turner hasn't really got in the game very much. Trey Tucker hasn't really had too much success. He did a little bit better when Aiden O'Connell was in there. Obviously, he got a touchdown, got a couple passes his way. Jacoby Myers got hot when Aiden was in there. But Aiden's not going to be the quarterback. It's going to be Gardner Minshew. And Gardner Minshew, most of his targets have been to Brock Bowers and Davante Adams. Minus last week, he only had 4 passes to Tay. But this is going to be a huge test for Gardner Minshew also. You don't have your number one security blanket that you can just throw the ball up to and get those flags that he's been getting, pass interference calls. I think we got 4 pass interference calls from Davante Adams, from him just throwing the ball in the air. So that's going to be a huge difference. Who's going to step up and be that guy? I want to see DJ Turner with his speed kind of stretch the field, stretch this defense, and I want to see him take shots early. I definitely want to see him throw the ball right off the bat. Look at the Cleveland Browns last week. Their first play of the game was like 80 yards for a touchdown or something crazy, 70 yards for a touchdown to Amari Cooper. We'll get to that in a little bit. But, man, that's taking shots. That's having balls. They didn't score the rest of the game but one other time. But still, at least they had, the heart and the balls to come out and take a shot, and it worked. So I would love to see us come out on first down, throw the ball down the field, run Trey Tucker, run, DJ Turner, or DJ Taylor, as AP called him in the press conference, which we don't even have a guy named Taylor on our team. Well, I guess we do, our safety, but it was kind of weird that he called him DJ Taylor. So, yeah, spread the field, man. Open this offensive up. We need to be a pass-first offense, in my opinion, until we can establish a run game. Max definitely would play if he could. That's what I'm saying. So, how serious is the injury with Max Crosby? Only time will tell, right? But it doesn't look good. For the fact that him not playing with a high ankle sprain, It's not going to heal in a week. I don't care if you're Max Crosby, Superman, or Jesus. There's no way that shit's healing in a week. So I guess if you're Jesus, you can heal it in a week. Day. And a hamstring, man, I've tore my hamstring once. One time I tore my hamstring so bad, trying to be stupid, racing my son when he was younger and his friends, which I won the race. I smoked him. But I did a stretch. I didn't warm up or nothing. And we ran like 5 times. And the 5th time, I popped my hamstring so bad I was laying on the ground. I got up, tried to walk, blacked out from the pain. Like it was horrible, man. I had to go to work the next day hopping around. So a torn hamstring or even a stretched hamstring is nothing to play with, especially when you're in the NFL and you got to run routes constantly and don't have the ball thrown to you. Like that pressure on Gardner. Yes, the pressure's on Gardner Minshew, which doesn't bode well for us, because if you've watched the tape in the last 3 games, he hasn't done well under pressure. He's created sacks for himself. He hasn't been able to find the open man. And now he really has a lot more on his shoulders. You're missing Michael Mayer, who, yeah, they didn't throw the ball to him many times. But when they did throw him the ball, the man made catches and big plays. Brock Bowers, they went away from him last week, which I don't understand why you go away from Brock Bowers when he has 9 catches for almost 100 yards. And they just stopped throwing him the ball. Now, I did tape breakdown yesterday. Go back and watch it if you missed it. I did tape breakdown live. I'll do it again next week. But, Brock Bowers was open plenty of times. Trey Tucker was open numerous times. And our quarterback just couldn't get him the ball. So, not only do we have problems on offense and the offensive line, I think our offensive line looked very, very well. And people are talking all this stuff about Getsy, fire Luke Getsy. You have to know football, bro. You have to know football before you can talk about firing people. Go back and watch film. This offense is not bad. It's really not bad. And the pass plays that he's calling has guys open. And the offensive line has been giving them protection. I broke it down yesterday. There's plenty of times where he has all day to throw the ball, and you only need 4 seconds. You only have 3-4 seconds in the NFL to throw the ball. So if your offensive line is giving you more than 3 or 4 seconds to throw the ball, and you're taking sacks, that's on the quarterback. That is not on the offensive line. I thought DJ Glaze played his ass off over there, and I've been screaming to put DJ Glaze in, right? On the right side and move Mumford to the left in the beginning of the season, because Colton Miller definitely wasn't ready. And he struggled again very, very bad last week, constantly being shoved in the quarterback's face. So the fact that DJ Glaze got in and showed that it doesn't matter if you're a 3rd round pick, where you were drafted, that he has the skill set, to jump in. I thought he jumped right in. He didn't miss a beat. He wasn't scared. He wasn't timid. He gave up a sack when Aiden O'Connell was in there. But 1 sack, you can deal with that from a rookie, right? From a 3rd round rookie that doesn't have any playtime in the NFL. I'll take that all day. Jackson Powers Johnson, when they put JPJ in, the man looked like he was our best offensive lineman next to DJ Glaze. The 2 rookies are our best offensive linemen, and that's very sad for this franchise going forward. I mean, not for going forward, because they're going to be with us for a while. It's good for us, but it's not good that Colton Miller and Andre James, who just got a new contract, are being outworked by rookies that have never even played in the NFL. So we definitely need business decisions that have not been made yet. Or maybe business decisions were made, and maybe that's why Davante's not playing. I don't know. I don't want to be one to speculate, but I don't know. It doesn't look good with all the rumors going around, flying with Davante. Hopefully, I don't know. It's going to be bad either way, right? How can this game go right? if we go out there and dominate without Davante Adams, the trade rumors are going to start flying off the hook saying, look, the Raiders are in a bad situation. They did well without Davante Adams. They played better with Davante not in there. Trade Davante, right? And if we do bad, then it's going to be because Davante wasn't in there, and we still need to trade Davante because we're horrible. So either way you look at it, we're in a no-win-win situation at all. So we definitely have a whole bunch of problems, but I think they're problems that can be fixed. The offensive line looks like it's starting to come together, and pass pro. Now in run pro, that's a whole nother story. You know, AP wants to keep coming in press conferences and telling guys, you know, telling everybody, telling the world, we're going to run the ball till we can't. We're going to be a smash mouth team and we're going to run the ball. Now, of course, he doesn't bite his tongue, but running the ball 17 times in a football game is not smash mouth football. I don't care where you're from, what you drive, what kind of shoes you rock on the sidelines. That is not smash mouth football. So until we can play smash mouth football, we're going to continue to have struggles in the run game. And if we can't play smash mouth football, then we need to adapt and adjust. You know, smash mouth football to me would be a power run and not a wide zone scheme. And Zeus did very well in a power run situation last year. 100 yards a game. The last 4 games was the only games he started pretty much. Why are we going away from that? Why are we going to a different scheme? We are going into week 4. In 3 weeks, that scheme has not worked. So is it time to go back to a power scheme? It worked for our offensive line and you know, in run pro. It worked for our offensive line and pass pro with Aiden O'Connell in there. Why are we not going back? You know, you could still have 12 personnel and run a power scheme. You don't where's the 12 personnel? Where's the running out of 12 personnel? If you got 12 personnel and you have 2 very gifted tight ends that can block, why are we not running the ball more? Why are we not putting, you know, if we're having trouble running the ball to the right side, why are we not putting 2 tight ends on the right side? They don't have to be on the line, right? We can offset them. You can put 3 tight ends to the right side. We've seen that formation. I seen it in the game yesterday. 3 tight ends to one side, and they ran the football. So if there's things that could be fixed to bring out the run game, and one of them, the key one to me, is having a deep threat. If you have no deep threat, teams are going to stack the box and stay in zone. It's just a fact. It's football 101. If you don't have a deep threat, you're not going to have a run game. You can't have a run game with no deep threat. You can't have play action. You can't run RPOs. You can't do shit without a run game. All those coincide together. So until they figure that out, this team is going to continue to struggle. And now missing key pieces like Michael Mayer is blocking because, you know, he might not catch the ball all the time. And he might not make big plays because they don't get him the ball when he's open. But his pass blocking, his pass pro, and his run pro, you know, filling in at a fullback sometimes is a big key to this offense. And not having him out there is definitely going to struggle. Because Harrison Bryant, in my opinion, when it comes to blocking, it's just awful, bro. I've seen that man get spun around like a top. So I don't know. We definitely have some struggles. But we're going to see what we're made of, right? It's time for the men to rise above the boys and bring your A game, because you're definitely going to need it against a team that has a mobile quarterback that's going to run around as much as he can because they know we can't stop the run. So if we can't stop the run from a mobile quarterback and they're, you know, explosive running backs, I just talked about what Davante, you know, Deontay Foreman did to us last year with the Bears. And you know, Chubbard is, whatever the hell his name is a solid, huge running back. So time for guys to step up. Hopefully Palomau back there at safety will read some of these runs and come in and make tackles. And hopefully some of these young guys can get in the game and make some plays like Amari Gaynor, Tommy Eichenberg that we haven't seen, because we definitely need it. Where's Dylan Labe, man? Where's Dylan Labe? I'll keep coming back to this. Look around the NFL. There's rookies all over the NFL that were drafted the same round are lower that are still getting playtime, that are getting carries. We have the worst running game in the NFL, and we have an explosive, elusive little running back there that can make plays, and nobody's talking about it, and nobody's putting them in the game. Like, put him in there, even if it's in pass plays. Yes, Madison's doing well, picking up a couple plays here and there, but those plays aren't working constantly, and Garner's constantly running checkdowns. So maybe if Labe was in there, one of these checkdowns might go for 20, 30, 40 yards. I don't know, but something definitely has to be done. I appreciate you for showing up, pulling up in here. I'm going to get off. I just want to let everybody know I'll probably be back on, I don't know, tomorrow before the game, talk about what we got to do to win. But, I mean, it's pretty much obvious. I don't know why I can only do so many lives a day. It's obvious what we have to do. Throw the ball downfield. Garner has to find the open man, protect the ball, and stop the run. And if we could do that, we not only win this game, but we win a lot more games. And until we can do that, we're going to continue to struggle. But shout out, much love, appreciate y'all. Raiders, just win, baby. Raiders till we die, right? Peace.